Tonight, we're talking about a new executive order intended to give more families a break on childcare costs. It's been a wild afternoon of weather here in the Tri-Cities. Jason Valentine has a look at what to expect for this evening coming up in your First Alert forecast. Plus, with Walmart phasing out plastic bags, we're asking, what does this mean for curbside pickup and delivery?
Now, KAPP local news at 5.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Alyssa Warner. As the 2023 Washington state legislative session is nearing an end, midwives throughout the state are now asking lawmakers to add some provisions to the state budget. Specifically, they want the Medicaid reimbursement rate to be increased so they can sustain their practice and help more women. Studies have found that women who receive care from a midwife are less likely to have a C-section and overall have better birth outcomes. Cynthia Flynn with the Columbia Birth Center in Richland said the rate is so low, it's forced many centers just like hers to close.
It makes it really tough because we do have bills to pay and we cannot shift costs the way the hospital can. Our marketing costs are our marketing costs. Our medication costs are our medication costs. Our staff costs are our staff costs.
While midwives are passionate about helping women, especially those who may be part of marginalized communities, Cynthia says it places a strain on their finances to accept Medicaid. We'll hear more from midwives advocating for change coming up tonight on KAPP Local News at 6. And we've heard similar concerns from hospital officials all across the state saying Medicaid reimbursements are too low for all kinds of care, and that's costing them. Of course, we've also been talking about a serious staffing shortage at hospitals all around the country. Here in Washington, the legislature has given final approval to a bill that advocates call a safe staffing proposal. It sets new requirements for hospital staffing, including a requirement that hospitals set up a staffing committee and make decisions with much more input from healthcare workers. That proposal is now awaiting Governor Inslee's signature. He is scheduled to sign several bills, although we don't yet know which ones, coming up on Thursday. And today, President Biden signed an executive order intended to improve access to child care and long-term care. The White House says this order doesn't require new spending, but it does order federal agencies to look at putting their existing grants and job-creating funds towards affordable child care.
Under this order, almost every federal agency will collectively take over 50 actions to provide more peace of mind for families and dignity for care workers and who deserve jobs with good pay and good benefits.
President Biden also said he's directing the VA to streamline efforts to get veterans more flexibility on at-home care. Now let's talk about your weather. It's April. We've seen a little bit of everything today. We're taking a look at our Legends Sky Camera in Toppenish. Clear-ish skies, but will it last? Jason Valentine has a look ahead in your KVEW First Alert weather forecast.
Good Tuesday evening, everyone. Hope you're enjoying your day so far. And folks, we're looking at things settling down as we're heading into our overnight period. The winds that we saw today slowing down very soon. Also, we're going to be seeing a little bit more clearer skies. Again, scattered showers tonight, but those should be moving on very quickly and very light if it does come to your area. So we are looking at a little bit warmer temperatures tomorrow. We're going to be in the lower 60s for the Tri-Cities area. So it looks like mid to upper 50s for the rest of our city. So things slowly warming towards our weekend, and those winds are going to be slowing down. We saw 15 to 25 mile per hour winds today. They are going to be slowing down into our overnight period. So upcoming, we have some light quick showers to talk about tonight, and they'll return as we get into our Wednesday evening, tomorrow evening, and we are warming by that weekend, though we still have a freeze warning in some of our areas that's been extended into Thursday. So I'll get into all of that in my full forecast, but for right now, I'm going to send it back to you.
Thanks, Jason. Tonight, we're learning more about two fires that happened within minutes of each other in Kennewick on Monday. The first one reported was at the Benton County Justice Center. The Kennewick Fire Chief says a generator exhaust pipe overheated and caught part of the roof on fire. It took a couple of hours to make sure the flames were out, but there were no injuries and not too much damage. Now, in contrast, a second fire just a few blocks away and a few minutes later destroyed this mobile double-wide on Medellin Avenue. That's not far from Kamayakan High School. The fire department says while all the people in the home were able to get out safely, 2 dogs and a ferret did not survive. The fire grew so fast that firefighters just had to do what they could from the outside, and 8 people will now have to find another place to live. Investigators are still working to determine how that fire got started. A Kennewick man who fatally shot an Everett police officer last year, then ran over him while trying to get away, will spend the rest of his life behind bars. A Snohomish County jury convicted 51-year-old Richard Rotter of aggravated first-degree murder earlier this month. Everett police officer Dan Rocha caught Rotter moving guns between cars in a Starbucks parking lot. Guns Rotter, as a felon, was not allowed to have. A judge called the shooting that followed a brutal execution. In court on Monday, Rotter apologized to Rocha's family and to the community after he was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole. A surprise twist in the legal battle between Fox News and Dominion Voting Systems. Dominion sued Fox over news coverage of the 2020 election. But just as the trial was about to begin, the two sides abruptly settled. ABC's Justin Finch has a look at what happened.
A dramatic and unexpected finish to the defamation trial against Fox News Channel brought by Dominion Voting Systems.
The truth matters. Lies have consequences. Today's settlement of $787,500,000 represents vindication and accountability.
After a delay in opening statements was announced, Judge Eric Davis later revealing to the jury that Dominion and Fox News had resolved their case. Dominion CEO calling the resolution historic, even though it was for less than half of the $1.6 billion in damages it was seeking.
Fox has admitted to telling lies about Dominion that caused enormous damage to my company, our employees, and the customers that we serve. Nothing can ever make up for that.
Before the deal, jurors were tasked with determining if Fox acted with actual malice by knowingly broadcasting false information about Dominion's voting machines, or acted with reckless disregard for the truth when Fox News host and guests falsely claimed Dominion's machines were rigged to favor Joe Biden over Donald Trump in the 2020 presidential election. Fox News owner Rupert Murdoch allegedly sent an email saying, "Really crazy stuff and damaging." Judge Eric Davis has already ruled that Fox could not argue to jurors it was merely repeating allegations pushed by former President Trump and his allies because they were newsworthy. And lawyers for Fox News did not hold a news conference, but did release a statement saying in part, "We do acknowledge the court's rulings finding certain claims about Dominion to be false." Justin Finch, ABC News, Wilmington, Delaware.
This morning, another round of travel trouble for Southwest Airlines. The airline said it had an intermittent technology issue that delayed nearly 2,000 flights. Southwest said they had some data connection issues because of what they called a firewall failure. They also requested a ground stop from the FAA. One travel analyst says that lasted less than 30 minutes, which is much different from Southwest's travel meltdown during the winter holidays. And brace yourselves, Hollywood is once again facing the possibility of a writer's strike. Now, it's been 15 years since that happened last, but in 2007, the Writers Guild of America went on strike for more than 3 months. It caused a huge disruption to TV series especially, and that was before streaming had shaken up the usual release schedule. Now the Writers Guild's contract is up on May 1st. They've already voted to authorize a strike if needed. The New York Times reports Hollywood executives are stockpiling scripts and making plans for more reality TV in case the strike becomes a reality. Walmart started moving away from single-use bags in 2021. They've now eliminated plastic bags at stores in 6 states across the United States. Starting today, Washington, Oregon, Washington, D.C., and Delaware joined that list. With no more plastic bags available at checkout, customers will need to bring their own or buy reusable ones when making purchases in store or for pickup. Walmart will still be using bags for delivery orders, but they'll be switching over to reusable paper bags instead of plastic. And a potentially huge decision before the Supreme Court tonight. The justices are being asked to weigh in after a former mailman sued, saying the Postal Service required him to work Sunday in violation of his religious beliefs. ABC's Melissa Adon has an in-depth look at what's at stake here.
It's a case that could impact workplaces across America. Former postal worker and evangelical Christian Gerald Groff and his legal team asking the Supreme Court to protect employees' religious liberties, telling the justices employees should not be forced to choose between their faith and their job. Groff used to deliver mail for the U.S. Postal Service in rural Pennsylvania, except on Sundays when he would attend worship services.
They began to ask people of my position to deliver on Sundays or holidays. And I told them I'm not going to be able to work on the Lord's Day at all.
Groff ultimately quit his job and sued. But the Postal Service said accommodating Groff's religious beliefs created a significant burden on his coworkers and its operations, and that Groff's job explicitly required him to work Sundays. The Solicitor General representing the Postal Service arguing to the court that the lower courts correctly found undue hardship on these facts and that Groff's absences created direct concrete burdens on other carriers who had to stay on their shifts longer to get the mail delivered. Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1965 prohibits discrimination in employment on the basis of religion unless an employer can show that reasonably accommodating the employee would create undue hardship on their business. The Supreme Court interpreted that standard 46 years ago in the case TWA versus Hardison to mean anything more than a de minimis cost on business operations. A majority of justices suggested during oral arguments that its precedent should be tightened, raising the requirement for employers to accommodate religious observance while balancing the business's need to make money.
It will mean that employers will have to show a lot more to avoid accommodating employees who asked for exceptions because of their religious beliefs.
During oral arguments, several justices indicated Groff's case should be sent back to lower courts for reconsideration. What's not clear is if a majority of the justices believe the Postal Service is obligated to accommodate Groff's absences on Sundays. Melissa Don, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Now, as we know, the Supreme Court justices could sit on that case for quite a while before they make a final decision, so we'll continue to update you as that happens. But for now, let's take a look outside in Toppenish. We are seeing some partly cloudy skies tonight after just kind of a wild day in the weather. Jason Valentine has a look at what to expect for the rest of this week coming up. But first, we're talking about a new effort to keep trash out of Washington's landscape. That's next on KAPP Local News at 5.
The last thing you want people thinking about when they're in their golden years is money. We have a new family member living with us, which is my mother-in-law, Kathleen. She has had MS since my husband's been 6. We have our caregivers that come into the home and help out with her. She gets showers every day. Walk Cares is a really unique program. As you get older, you're still cared for and you're still valuable. It's just great to know that if needed, Walk Cares will be there for them.
When you or your loved one has been seriously injured, you want the best law firm on your side. Abeta Nelson Injury Law is the most highly awarded and experienced personal injury firm in Central Washington. Our office has secured the most million-dollar car crash recoveries in Central Washington. You can trust us to have your back. The time for bringing your claim is limited, so don't wait. Call us today for a no-obligation consultation. Abeta Nelson, we take your injury personally.
Dear road rivals, you may have 4 wheels, headlights, and a similar build, but our resemblance ends right there. You see, the Camry's been named best-selling car in America. But cheer up, wannabe twinsies. If you try harder, maybe you can catch up. Later, Toyota.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan with roadside assistance. Visit your local Toyota dealer to learn more. Reserve yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
For over 600 different premium cigars, including every cigar rated 95 and higher in the last decade. It's The Educated Cigar. For 115 different fine pipe tobaccos and 55 different briarwood pipes from England, Germany, and Italy. It's The Educated Cigar. For 95 and higher rated wines and White Bluff IPAs, it's The Educated Cigar in Richland.
In the market for an RV? Do not buy any RV before you shop Click-It RV. Because Click-It RV has just acquired over 300 2022 fifth wheels, travel trailers, toy haulers, and motorhomes. And everyone is just $199 over invoice. And take advantage of 0 down, no payments for 90 days, and low interest financing. Plus guaranteed lowest price and lifetime warranty. So don't miss the Click-It RV Do Not Buy sale. Going on now at all 5 locations, including right here in Pasco.
This newscast sponsored by Nissan.
Welcome back. Each year, WashDOT and the Department of Ecology collectively spend more than $12 million cleaning up litter, and they want it to stop. They've launched the Simple as That campaign to encourage people to take action to prevent litter on the state's roads. Research shows the big reason that people litter, not having a trash bag in the car. That's why they've partnered with Refugee Artisan Initiative and Fred Meyer to give away upcycled trash bags made from vinyl banners that would have otherwise gone to the landfill. So now people will have a place to put that litter instead of tossing it out the window.
Our studies show that 75% of Washingtonians do the right thing and choose to not litter. So we want to thank them for their efforts. Now we're trying to reach that 25%.
You can pick up a free litter bag at the customer service desk of participating Fred Meyers while those supplies last.
Now, KAPP KVEW First Alert Weather with Jason Valentine.
Good Tuesday evening, everyone. We're moving along in the week. Hope you had a wonderful day today. Again, if you're seeing some showers right now, they're going to move on very quickly and very light. Winds are dying down into our overnight period, and we are going to be warming by the weekend, though today was our chilliest day of the week. So our futurecast, just bits and bobs of showers coming into the really kind of centered on the Blue Mountain region. By 10 o'clock, we could see one more cell come through Pendleton, and then just little bits in our overnight period. Shouldn't amount to much, if anything. So the best chance for more shower activity, again, very quick, will be tomorrow, Wednesday afternoon, as we get into the Blues, the Mid-Columbia, even Ellensburg and Yakima. That will continue into the evening hours, and again, just pretty quick showerlets coming in. And then we'll see it clear as we get into Thursday morning, though we could see a little bit of shower activity return as we head into our Thursday evening. So our temperature trend, as I said, today was the coolest day of our work week, at least, and pretty much for the week ahead. 10 degrees off our average for the Tri-Cities. And again, for all of our areas, we were in the mid to lower 50s today. We're going to slowly ascend into our average temperatures by the time we get to our weekend. And then, wouldn't you know it, we're going to cool off next week, just to continue this 4 weeks cycle we've been in. So our freeze warning, it's been extended now to also Thursday morning. So it's starting at 2 a.m. tonight and to 9 a.m. tomorrow. We have a freeze warning that'll repeat on Thursday. And again, this is a warning for agricultural workers who have crops that freezing temperatures can damage, so they can take measures to make sure it doesn't damage those crops. So our winds today slowing down in our overnight period. They were 15 to 25 mile per hour today. They're going to continue to wane as we head into at least the start of our weekend, and just a little bit of wind for Sunday and Monday. So today, definitely the windiest day of our week. So our almanac, again, we're right around 10, 11 degrees off of our average for the Yakima region. Overnights are pretty much off average as well, though we are seeing more clear skies overnight tonight. 10 degrees off for the Tri-Cities, and just right there for the high. So, folks, we are going to be warming up at some point this spring. It just isn't anytime soon. So tax day is today. Make sure you have your tax returns in by midnight tonight, if you postmarked by midnight tonight, if you haven't already. The NFL draft right here on KAPP KVEW ABC, a week from Thursday. Mother's Day, 26 days away. Never forget mom. So as we head into our overnight period, we are pretty chilly, a little chillier than last night, staying below that freezing mark. Ellensburg and Yakima in the mid to, well, let's just say the mid 30s overnight. So bundle up as you're heading out the door tomorrow morning. As we get into tomorrow, a couple 60s. Didn't see any 60s today. Tri-Cities, Hanford, other than that, mid 50s to lower 50s across the board. Just a couple degrees warmer. So as we get into our 7-day forecast, we are going to be slowly warming up towards that weekend. And then it looks like cooling down in our next work week, but our overnight lows are going to be steadily warming as well, getting to 47 Saturday late night. So that's as warm of an overnight period as we've seen a bit. In the Yakima region, more sunshine than not for the week ahead, but getting to those mid 60s by Saturday. And again, just incrementally warming up into the weekend. So for your Wednesday, we're going to be seeing those winds slow down overnight and those showerlets overnight. But tomorrow could see a little bit more shower activity in your PM hours, afternoon and early evening. Other than that, you're going to see partly cloudy skies and just slightly warmer than today.
Thanks, Jason. The Seattle Kraken are in the playoffs for the first time, and their first series is against the defending Stanley Cup champions. Game 1 is tonight at 7. This is potentially a 7-game series. The Kraken will host Game 3, 4, and 6, if needed, at Climate Pledge Arena. That's coming up on Saturday, Monday, and then next Friday. Again, if it gets that far. And trending tonight, call it a miracle recovery, if you will. Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin, who collapsed on the field in cardiac arrest during Monday Night Football in January, is now cleared to get back on the field. Physically cleared, not the same as mentally ready to get back out there, but Hamlin says he's not ready to quit.
I'm day to day with it, you know. I'm just taking it one day at a time. That's where I'm at in this process. Anytime I try to think too forward, you know, it gets cloudy. So I'm riding the roller coaster of emotions. I'm taking it one day at a time, and I'm trusting God. You know, I'm walking by faith.
Hamlin says he's not playing football right now. He's just working out. The Bills started their voluntary off-season program this week. A private collector is the proud new owner of a T-Rex skeleton, and the buyer got it for a steal, just over $5 million. It's a composite created from bones collected at 3 sites in Montana and Wyoming and some filler pieces. Experts say this is the first time a T-Rex has been auctioned off in Europe, and they were expecting to get a much higher price. Selling dinosaur skeletons to private collectors has been controversial because there's no guarantee that they'll be preserved or that scientists will be allowed to study them moving forward. Officials with the auction house that sold this particular T-Rex, which has been nicknamed Trinity, said they're hoping that the buyer will decide to show it in public. Now up next on KAPP KVEW Local News, we're talking about efforts to bridge the gap between school support for people with disabilities and then moving on to their adult lives.
Portion of KAPP KVEW sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
Smoke City for Less is your one-stop shop in Kennewick, Richland, Pasco, Hermiston, and West Richland. Every location is conveniently located and gives you the lowest prices and largest selection of vape mods, the best batteries, tobacco products, kratom, and specialty products too. We have something for everyone, including gift cards for any occasion. Check out the specials and deals today. Open 7 days a week in 5 locations: Kennewick, Richland, Pasco, Hermiston, and West Richland. Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
An accident can shatter your life. At Tamaki Law, we put your life back together.
When a client has been seriously hurt, they need a lot of help. We understand that. Their only job is to get better. Our job is to take care of the rest. That's why we work hard and fight for the justice they deserve.
If you've been seriously injured, call Tamaki Law and get your life back.
Hi, I'm Stan. Welcome to my Stan Talk. My theory, it's called Triple Play because you can have fun on land, sea, and air. On land, bowling, XD Dark Ride, and others. At sea, all the slides and pools in Raptor Reef Indoor Water Park. In air, the ropes course, Nebula Drop Tower, and new zip ride. Or maybe the owner just like triple cheeseburgers. Thanks, everyone!
Triple Play has fun for everyone, including the brand new zipline ride. And it's all attached to a cozy hotel.
Mildly entertaining. I will take that.
Hi, I'm Gino from Italstone. We just received a new container of quartz Britannica Gold made in the USA. Visit at Italstone today to see, touch, and choose from a huge inventory in stock. At Italstone, we measure, fabricate, and install your kitchen and bath countertops in 5 to 7 days. No one can beat Italstone prices, apples to apples. Here at Italstone, we are with you every step of the way.
Come shop the largest selection of RVs in the Tri-Cities at Appleway RV. Save big on Class A's, Class C's, travel trailers, toy haulers, and fifth wheels. Shop America's top brands: Rockwood, Tiffin, Newmar, Dynamax, and more, with a huge selection of pre-owned RVs. Plus, get maximum value for your trade, all with no payments for 90 days. Come shop the clearance event at Appleway RV Pasco.
Tonight, the Supreme Court gets set to take up the abortion pill, plus the new secrets emerging from the Pentagon leak investigation. More Americans turn to the most watched program on television, World News Tonight with David Muir.
For many young people with disabilities, becoming an adult means suddenly losing access to children's services and school programs they may have relied on their entire lives. That's why Yakima-based organization Entrust Community Services is working to bridge the gap between those young people and prospective employers, teaching them skills like how to apply for a loan, how to get housing, and how to do a job interview, and connecting them with employers who are willing to see them as an asset and work with them.
The only limits that are placed on our people is the limits they set on themselves, and we try to even help them break those down.
There's never a charge for services for people who qualify, which usually just requires having a documented disability or being on Medicaid. You can find more details on our website, yaktrynews.com. We'll have a final look at your weather when we come back, and still ahead tonight. World News Tonight is tracking 2 cases where people were shot after mistakenly ending up at the wrong address. Those cases are now prompting outrage. It's all coming up tonight at 5:30.
Portion of KAPP KVEW sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
If you're injured on the job, you need an experienced workers' compensation attorney.
Workers' compensation is complex. It has its own laws, doctors, courts, and judges.
For years as an assistant attorney general, I represented labor and industries. Now, I fight for injured workers.
If you can't work, let us go to work to get you benefits.
Call toll-free 1-888-665-8630, Bothwell and Hamel.
At Honda, we offer complimentary maintenance for 2 years or 24,000 miles with the Honda Service Pass program. Enjoy the ride, knowing we cover routine items like oil changes, tire rotations, and multi-point inspections. Honda Service Pass, available to purchasers of all 2023 Honda vehicles. Get yours today.
I was 44, working part-time. It was my first mammogram, and they found a few cancerous places in my left breast. I didn't have any symptoms. I didn't feel sick. I didn't have a lump in my breast. There was nothing. I wasn't afraid I was going to die. My first fear was, how am I going to tell my daughter? As a result of early detection, I didn't have to do chemotherapy. I just did surgery and radiation. Was able to maintain a good quality of life, and now it's a distant memory.
We're seeing customers come in every single day. Pros are using battery equipment.
Making the switch to battery was one of the best decisions that we made as a company.
We made the switch to battery-powered equipment to be ahead of the industry.
It's made in America, and I wanted something that was built here.
This is where the world is headed. It's better to be ahead of it now than get on it later.
Built for you. Built for work. Real steel. Find yours.
For over 600 different premium cigars, including every cigar rated 95 and higher in the last decade. It's the Educated Cigar. For 115 different fine pipe tobaccos and 55 different briarwood pipes from England, Germany, and Italy. It's the Educated Cigar. For 95 and higher rated wines and White Bluff IPAs, it's the Educated Cigar in Richland.
Go put on a 3-piece suit and relax. Tonight, Will Trent, the network TV drama of the year, returns.
Your dog is obsessed with me, Trent.
Do you have a lint roller? With 3 all-new episodes, including the shocking season finale.
I think someone's targeting people from the children's home.
You are in danger.
Whoever's doing this, they're threatening us. I need to stay on this.
I'm taking the case.
Agent Mitchell, good luck with the investigation.
New Will Trent, tonight on ABC and stream on Hulu.
New tonight at 6 is the first public Richland City Council meeting since a controversial drag brunch at the Emerald of Siam restaurant that happened on Easter weekend. Tonight, restaurant employees told us they're planning to march to City Hall. We're also expecting some people planning to show their support for the Mayor Pro Tem after remarks that she made leading up to the brunch. We'll have the latest from Richland City Hall coming up on KAPP KVEW Local News at 6. But first, let's take a final look at your forecast. It's been a little bit of everything today.
All right, folks, let's get you ready for your Wednesday tomorrow. Partly cloudy skies for most of our areas. Highs are going to be just a degree or 2 warmer, so we're steadily warming towards that weekend. Could see those scattered showers as we get to the afternoon and early evening. Best chance will be along the Blue Mountain region. They're warming up to the mid-50s as well, and over in Ellensburg we're looking at 51. So folks, those winds dying down overnight and those showers dying down overnight. So tomorrow a pretty mild Wednesday is on the way with that chance of seeing a little bit of showers in your afternoon and early evening.
Thanks, Jason. We're getting a little preview of that on our Toppenish Skycam tonight. We're seeing kind of that mild weather start to move in. World News Tonight with David Muir is next. KAPP KVEW Local News is back tonight at 6. And of course, you can find the latest anytime on our website, yaktrynews.com.